All right, good afternoon. Good afternoon. We're here on May, May the 3rd through 2020, and I want to talk about just an educational video here speaking about oil and oil tankers, places to store oil, pretty much. There's a lot of concerns, questions speaking about oil and what the direction is, what's taking place in oil. A lot of historical things where obviously we've witnessed below zero, a lot of jokes, sarcasm, things like that to try to pave the way through understandings about oil. And I want to be the first to identify that this is not a very thorough video about oil, but I really want to emphasize about helping people to identify potentials of profits in the future in this sector, and what to kind of get a feel on what you want to look into initially. So I have three different stocks I really quickly want to go over. I do not consider these stocks to be a buy at this particular time, but there's something that we may want to keep on our watch list for something for a long haul. There's long haul stocks and things in that nature, but for the most part these are trading opportunities versus investment opportunities. A lot of people default into the investment opportunity when they're not technical traders, when they're specular individuals, but so we want to really emphasize about trading. But this particular deal here, you got jokes, you got different sarcasms about, let me give me some space and start storing me some oil cans because oil is cheap right now. It's going to go back up. Is there any location to even store anything? Do you have any kind of property just trying to store this type stuff? How can you get in on it? Where should you even look? And where's an opportunity for it? So with all that being said, I briefly want to quickly go over these three charts here that I would like to keep my eye on for the future. Right now, I don't know if this is really going to be an area right now here. As I look at this chart here, EQM on a weekly basis, from my technical analysis, I'm a technical analyst. I'm a chart reader. That's my specialty. Okay, so you want to also identify individuals from things like fundamental trading versus technical trading. So before we get started, I just want to go ahead and give my disclaimer. This is for my practice purposes. This is for my record keepings, and this is not for legal advice. You are to seek for your own legal advice. Go get your own legal advice. With that being said, most of the time that's not the case, but so you want to have and a lot of people just rely on their own understanding. So here we like to anticipate the price movements. I'm a price action on demand price analyst, but also this is more of just talking. This is more talking, pointing out something that can be good for the future. We can come back to and start to really pay close attention and have a better feel for if you wanted to get involved somewhere in this. My understanding that space would be more important. Storage space would be more important than the actual ups and downs and woes and the news of everything, and what's the direction of what's going on and the history of it, and so on and so forth. So with that being said, I picked out three here that seem to still be on a decline. Obviously we need to have some real true signs, not just within the news but on the actual charts is what I refer to. I'm a chart reader, so that means I'm not a news advocate, but we are still having to correlate things at the same time. They still have to make sense. And so just want to point out these three here. We have EQM, the midstream partners here. These are tanker companies. Okay, so these are tanker companies that typically would be what my ideal would be on a rise at certain times in high demands, and storage seems to be the high demand for something that should have been already out of business. Because anything that I know of that goes to zero and below zero, any other stock I know of goes out of business. But within this here, the questions are we gonna continue to decline in the oil over a period of time? What is the and of course, the rise of it and the investment of it, more so than the trade of it. So I don't really talk too much about investments, but this would be considered that video. And right now we have a few that have touched the $10 mark, and it's gotten back up to the $22 mark. If it does happen to have some strength and be something that we need to really see get over this $22 mark and this $30 mark, then you're still on the actual winning side of something versus getting in late. Fear of missing out. Those kind of things we don't like to concern ourselves with, because this kind of, like I say, this kind of video here should be something where we're looking for the long haul. And the long haul would be, let's say 12 months. Ideally 12, 24, whatever, 36 months or so. So that is considered, but something within a year is good long haul for me, for sure. And it's a good short term kind of feel as well. Something I can just put in and keep adding on to it. But right now, we want to be smart about a lot of these things. We want to be more accurate. We want to be more precise with what's taking place. And that's why you tune into my channel. I'm very precise. I have precisions on the price actions. And so we want that. We want that edge. This is why you come to analysts, to get that edge feel of not just having to say, okay, well, hey, I know what's going on with the economy. I got this feel, and obviously over time we feel like it's going to be on a rise. Great. But I'm not big on just dropping money in something, seeing it fall as soon as I put it in, and then just cross my fingers because I'm not really knowledgeable or have to rely on others. So that being said, I like to just wait and see when I put something in there, I like it start to go into the positive, so that's the ideal. Should be everybody's idea, but of course, if we don't have that kind of vision, then we have to work with what we have to work with. So the next one, let's move on, would be STNG. What is that? What is that? STNG. What was that? Scorpio. Yeah, Scorpio tankers. There's a few. There's probably like several tankers that you can do your homework on and do the research on them. So these are just three, and we want to start to do something here over a period of time. Right now on Scorpion tankers, we do have a good. Oh, excuse me. Apologize. I'm in my backyard, so neighbors you might hear some birds tweaking and singing, and then my neighbors seems like they're in the backyard having fun too as well in their pool. But so we have good volume. Well, we've had volume come into place here recently. What that means is we've had participation come into place. The push does not seem to tie in with the actual price action. So this is still a speculative move to me to the downside. Now, if we try to hold above this $18 here, then that would be something we need to continue to follow and see what's taking place, because we definitely had buy come in, but we've also had sale come in immediately. right behind that. It has not gotten down to the $15 or so area where initially this trend started. So we want to see a test. Well, we did see one test, and we got up to the last high of $24. True enough. But we got a great pullback correction, and my concern would be that we shouldn't be seeing strong volume to the downside if this was true buyers to the upside. So if this was a true move to the upside, we should not be seeing strong sellers coming in right behind that. It should be lower volume, lower participation. So this red candle, blow that up, should be a lot more, as you can see. And as you can see, as we blow it up on a weekly chart here, we have a lot of gaps, a lot of fill-in gaps. So that is not healthy as a strong, true buy. This particular buy that held up everything on the participation was weak. This particular buy did come in to get things moving to hold this area up. And so a buy came in, sellers came in, and they are pushing. But let's go on the monthly here. This doesn't seem to fit what I like to see when it comes to the true support area, true buyers coming in play. It's a lot of, on a monthly, no. So we still got a lot of down. Let's see here, down over there to there. Okay, cool. So we bring this down to here. I'm looking at this last run down. So we came here, we came down, and we shot up. But we shot up from this exact mark, which is at $40.50. And then if obviously we come across, of course my power is going out. Let me see if I can pause this here and get my charger for my laptop. I'll be back. Okay, thank you for your patience. Obviously you didn't feel that, but so we're back here, and we're looking at how the price came right up to that support of the $40.35 to be exact. Volume came into place. Big bar came down to test that support that initially started the move. Is holding. True enough, volume came in to say, hey, we're still around, so we still may have some hanging around in this particular area of this true $12, $13 area. So hopefully we still have some true support that comes in on a monthly basis. Well, I tell you what, I'm not in. We're not looking at all that hopefully stuff. Hopefully it keeps on doing what it needs to do, and we can identify a good price point to get in is what I'm hoping. And wherever it goes, that's not my concern in regards of only to get in on the upside, only to get in on the direction that I want to be in on. Okay, so that's how we trade here. I'm not concerned about anything other than that. And so we're not married to these trades, but the support of the 16, obviously that was initial move that came down. So this move came down. This move that's supposed to be where the top should be at right here. But then that was weak, and that's the one that started the move. Okay, so you got to start at everything. You're the big boy that started it all. You're right here, buddy. Can't hide yourself. So big sellers are still in play. They brought that move down to the next one, and that is here. Okay, sellers or buyers are fighting right now and trying to build up cars to get people potentially to go ahead and bite in. Either way, actually. So you might see a lot of whipsaw and whipping up and down in this area and sideways, possibly for the months to come, possibly. But it shouldn't hold, hopefully. And again, if we do get back down below this $18 to go and test that $13, that's what we want to just continue to watch and see what happens with the participation that comes after that, to start looking more into Scorpio, STNG, for a long haul purchase of where actual oil storage is playing a big part. Right now, I don't know what the news are. I don't technically know what they're stating when it comes to, do we have enough storage for oil, for versus demand. But that's not my concern. I am a technical analyst. Okay, so this is a technical analyst page, but we are speaking about long-term investment, particularly on this particular content here, but no early interests of the fear of missing out. So we're going to allow anything to play out. So if there's some pop-ups taking place, then we need to allow that. But here, let's see, we do have on EQM, I don't know why I went back to this one here, but the actual monthly chart does look very good when it comes to this whole participation was choppy. The volume did not slow down. The volume actually picked up in this whole choppy participation. So that's one of the reasons why it went below its initial support of the $22. And that tells me that was one of the primary reasons. The volume participation was still there, although it was choppy. What we wanted to see, volume slow down in this area and that hold up, and that would have gave us a good line right here where we'd have bought it. And as you can see, as everything went down from the start of this guy that started everything, that guy started this new move, this new leg down, and they have still on their leg down. They have not stopped their leg down. This may be the end of that whole leg, possibly, but not yet. They're going to show me something. So, and most likely come back here and test it, or get back into this area. So on EQM, possibly a good test of the $11 all the way down to the $7 or so would be great. Right now the volume, this was a good one when it came to this big, when you see this big red volume here, this is nothing to be feared of. This is a climax bar to the downside, and therefore it did show me that pressure trying to sell from this area halted. So there's some buyers down here at the $8 at the $8 mark. So this climax pushing, they were trying to push it down. They weren't able to succeed. There was a push up wick. There was a wick. So if you're trying to push down, you got big boy sellers coming, you won't see a wick. Okay, if I'm selling, I'm bringing the pain. Nobody's changing up my momentum. Okay, so that is an indication that we are trying to get to the upside. We did follow up with volume to the upside, and we did follow up with a price to the upside. But I would like to see a test again to confirm this downside is going to hold around this $8 area on EQM before it starts to climb its way back up. And if we know that obviously this area of the 44.56 should be something that we can keep our target mark, let's just say, so that would be an ideal target mark for once we do start to see a new trend to the upside. Okay, and my last one here, just want to kind of briefly go over. Thank you for your patience and working with me on this. Here we got TNK, TK tankers. There seem to be a good storage areas of tanking. You just pick out of the several that they have. You want to say, okay, for long investments, things of that nature, these are something that wouldn't be a bad deal to put into right now. No, again, I'm going to repeat that. I don't see the true upside starting at these points of these tankers. So allow them to play themselves out, allow them to do what they need to do, and put them on your watch list. And come back to these and remind yourself what's going on. Come back to this video and see what took place on these prices here and the future prices, send me a message and get more involved into that. So I don't really make a whole lot of videos here when it comes to stocks and investments, and I am a analyst, and I make mine on trading for myself. Okay, so I trade for myself. I'm not into monetizing videos and getting subscribers like that or whatever. This is all, but it does make me feel good. It does make me feel better to communicate with people and help individuals as well. So I do get that, and that's probably the reason why I like to do it. But I don't want to distract myself and get way out of bent on something that is not even my way of bringing in income. So anyhow, this last one, TNK here, we're on a monthly. Let's go to the weekly, and I like to start out the weekly and kind of work my way around it. But like I said, I'm not into zooming in and trying to trade it at this point. We did have initially when we got tankers, when tankers got started at $156 back in 2008 or so, in December 2008 or so, when they had that decline and they double test that bottom, it was a good push up to the upside above the actual initial decline, which was at 192, and it made itself on up to whatever 200 some plus. And so the leg came down to the $39 or so, $38. And who started that? All right, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. I think. Yeah. 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. Put you on hold for like 2 seconds. 2 seconds. And so this video here, I'm just gonna leave it at that. These are videos. Thank you for your time. These are something we just want to keep on the watch list. Let's just do that. Come back to me later on with any kind of questions, and I appreciate you for your time. Don't forget to hit that like button. Bye bye.